Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. As we hit Monday, it is time to start taking a look at some of the opening odds of week number 5, and after a crazy week 4, should be a very intriguing week 5 of NFL action as well. And here's some of the more interesting lines, opening odds that I've seen here so far throughout the morning here now. The Falcons and the Giants, I think, kick it off as one of the more intriguing NFC games of the week. The Falcons lost this past week to Minnesota, pretty embarrassing fashion to the rookie quarterback's first start, whereas the Giants finally found their rhythm, and the NFL odds come out here with the Giants as -4 or -3.5 favorites, depending on what you're looking at. They opened at 3.5, moved up to 4, and now are kind of hovering in between there right now. Total right now is at 49 points. It should be very interesting to see where this line goes. I'd be very surprised if the line moved up past 4.5, but you never know here. We'll keep an eye on it here for Thursday and Friday. Now, the counterpart of this game in the AFC, a good AFC battle between the Ravens and the Colts coming up now in week number 5, where the Colts come in as a -3 NFL odds favorite, total of 46.5. Now, of course, Indy dropped 4 touchdowns once again this week, but they've done it against 2 pretty bad NFC or AFC South teams in the Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. The Ravens, by far the best defense they're going to play. They've played so far this season. It's going to be very interesting to see what Andrew Luck and the Colts can do here, but I don't expect this line to move too much. Maybe go up to 3.5 or so, but probably not go past that. May even go down a little bit if people jump in on the Ravens here at +3. Another interesting NFC battle is the Chicago Bears heading into Carolina to play the Panthers this week, and the Panthers come in as a -2.5 favorite against the Chicago Bears. I think this is very interesting as well because the Panthers have really shown nothing this season to really give anybody hope that they could cover these odds against the Bears. And the Bears had a pretty bad showing against the Packers this past week. Jay Cutler had a very bad second half. However, they normally could bounce back in a game like this. The Panthers' defense is beatable, even though it is imposing, and Chicago's been able to run the ball pretty successfully against better run defense with Matt Forte so far this season. So I think it could be a very intriguing contest. I would be very surprised if this line settled anywhere higher than 2.5, though. I think if anywhere, it's going to go down. More people favoring the Bears probably later in the week. Another interesting contest, this one an interconference battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos come in as a 7.5 or 8-point favorite from the sports books, depending on where you're looking at. Total of 49.5 to 50 points. Now, both of these teams were on bye in week number 4, so it'll be good to see both teams a little bit healthier. Looks like Carson Palmer probably getting ready to take back the starting job in Arizona after being injured, a little bit of shoulder injury and soreness throughout the last 2 weeks. Should give Andre Ellington another week to rest that foot that's been ailing him. And the Broncos, obviously, another week off to plan for the Arizona Cardinals defense is going to be very interesting battle as well. I really don't know where this line is going to go or settle from here. I would be surprised if it went up too much, but I'd also be a little bit surprised if it went down too much. So looking like it might stay right around 7 to 8 points once we get it settled. Lastly, going with the interesting AFC battle once again here between the New York Jets and the San Diego Chargers. The Chargers come in as a 7-point favorite after beating up on the Jaguars last week with a total of 43.5. Now, the Jets' defense really has been looking good in the front 7, but their secondary is absolutely beatable. I think the Chargers could take advantage of that in this game because they didn't have much of a running game this past week against the Jaguars. They were much more successful going through the air with Carson Palmer over 375 yards passing in week number 4. So wouldn't be surprised if this game really became the Chargers throwing the ball all over the Jets once again. That line of 7 points is interesting, but with the Jets traveling, very hard to trust them with the way that Geno Smith has been playing, especially over the last couple of games. So that'll do it for your opening odds report. Make sure you check back later in the week for a Dax, Floyd, and I's odds movement series on Thursday and Friday. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.